One of the biggest reasons more men are single today isn't dating apps. It's something happening in classrooms, workplaces, and paychecks. For decades, people assumed men would always out-earn women. But in several places around the world, that assumption is already breaking down, and it may be changing dating faster than anyone expected. The number of single men has become one of the most discussed social trends of the decade. Yet most explanations focus on dating apps, social media, or culture wars. What if a much bigger shift is happening underneath all of it? A shift involving education, earnings, demographics, migration, and the future of work. Today, we're looking at a trend most people haven't connected to: the rise in singlehood. In some countries and regions, women are now matching, or even surpassing, men in educational attainment and earnings. And while this isn't the whole story, it may be helping reshape relationships, marriage patterns, career decisions, and even migration. By the end of this video, you'll see why economists, employers, and governments are paying close attention. To understand why more men are single in 2026, we need to start with a simple fact. Across much of the developed world, women have been graduating from universities at higher rates than men for years. That may sound like an education story, but education often becomes an income story. And income influences where people live, who they meet, when they marry, and whether they start families. Historically, many societies expected men to be primary earners. But as economic structures change, those expectations don't always change at the same speed. The result? A growing mismatch between old relationship assumptions and new economic realities. Let's start with the United States. Nationally, men still earn more overall. But that's not the entire picture. In a growing number of major cities, particularly among younger workers, women in their 20s are earning as much as or more than their male peers. Why? Several reasons. Women have increased their representation in higher education. Many of the fastest-growing professional sectors reward credentials and specialized knowledge, and younger women are entering these fields in large numbers. Meanwhile, some traditionally male-dominated sectors have faced automation, restructuring, or slower growth. This doesn't mean men are failing. It means the economy is rewarding different skills than it did 20 years ago. And dating markets often respond to economic changes before people realize it. Next, the United Kingdom. Among younger age groups, women have achieved significant educational gains and strong participation in professional occupations. Cities such as London, Manchester, and Edinburgh have seen rapid growth in industries including finance, technology, healthcare, consulting, and public sector professions. These sectors increasingly attract highly educated female talent. At the same time, some regions historically dependent on manufacturing and industrial employment have experienced different economic trajectories. The result is not simply a gender story. It's a geographic story, an education story, and a labor market story. Here's the part most people miss. This isn't primarily about equality. It's about incentives. Every economy rewards certain skills. When those rewards change, people's life choices change too. Careers, marriage, migration, even where entire populations decide to live. And that's why the next examples are so important. Iceland is often discussed as one of the world's leaders in gender equality. But what's especially interesting is how education and labor force participation evolve together. Women participate heavily in both higher education and the workforce. Government policies supporting parental leave and labor participation have helped create a highly skilled workforce overall. The lesson here isn't that women are replacing men. It's that economic systems increasingly reward human capital, education, adaptability, and specialized skills. Countries that maximize talent from their entire population gain a competitive advantage. Across several Nordic countries, similar patterns emerge. High educational attainment, strong workforce participation, and institutions designed to reduce barriers to employment. These countries demonstrate something important. Economic outcomes are shaped by incentives and structures, not just individual choices. When opportunities expand, labor markets change. And when labor markets change, relationships often change too. So what does this have to do with single men? This is where the conversation becomes more complex. Research shows that many people still prefer partners with similar educational backgrounds, career ambitions, and economic stability. But as educational and professional outcomes shift, the pool of potential matches changes too. Some men are delaying relationships while focusing on career stability. Some women are delaying relationships while pursuing education and professional advancement. Others are moving to different cities or countries for opportunity. The result? More people are spending longer periods single. Not necessarily because they don't want relationships, but because the timing, incentives, and expectations are changing. Why this matters globally for employers, this trend matters because talent shortages are becoming a major economic issue. For governments, declining marriage rates and lower birth rates create long-term demographic challenges. For men, it raises questions about adaptation in rapidly changing labor markets. For women, it creates new opportunities but also new decisions regarding career, family, and location. And for economies, the competition for skilled workers is only getting more intense. Artificial intelligence, automation, remote work, global mobility, these forces are accelerating change. The countries that adapt fastest may gain a significant advantage. The future question isn't whether these trends will continue. It's where they spread next. Will more countries see women surpass men in educational and professional outcomes? Will relationship expectations evolve alongside economic realities? Or will institutions, workplaces, and social norms adapt in unexpected ways? Because the rise in singlehood may not be a dating story at all. It may be one of the most visible symptoms of a much larger economic transformation. Then the most important question isn't why so many men are single today. It's this: what happens when the next generation enters a labor market that looks completely different from the one their parents knew? And which country will be the next to surprise everyone? Let us know what you think. Not who's right or wrong, but what trends you believe are shaping relationships in your part of the world.